Yes guys, I am back and it's been a while since I've been last here on my channel. Been very inactive, very busy. I actually always wanted to upload my Asian travel vlog that I filmed in March this year. Maybe in the future, but currently it's not in my plans anymore. I'm happy to be back. Today I'm kind of giving Slytherin. I didn't intend this, but it's giving Slytherin and I'm okay.
Come to die.
So yeah, let's get started with today's first story time. So grab your coffee, your snack, let's get right into it. So last year in October 2024, I almost said 2024, I was having lunch in the university cafeteria, and usually there's a big board in the entrance where there's job offers, looking for roommates, selling something, buying something, offering courses, wanting courses. In that board you can find anything, and usually after having lunch I just look at it and take pictures, because sometimes I see something that maybe my friends need. Sometimes they're looking for apartments, whatever, and I always read through it. It's really interesting. And that day, like someday in October, I saw somebody looking for a German native speaker, and I thought, yeah, sure, like I speak natively German,
My Lieblingsfach.
I could help. So I just write that number on WhatsApp, say, hi, I saw you're looking for somebody speaking natively in German. That's me, I can help you.
Ist mein Lieblingsfach.
And we arranged an appointment where we could meet face to face and speak about everything else in person. So we met up in the campus and basically just talked about his expectations, my expectations, in terms of how often do you want to have this course. So we arranged twice a week, the price, and just generally what he expects out of this language exchange, whatever. Actually, it's not an exchange because I'm just teaching him and he's not teaching me anything. So that being said, we now, I want to introduce you to the person. Let's just call him Rain. So his name is Rain, and he's a family father in his mid-40s, early 40s, I'm not sure. And he has last year around that time, he had an 8-month-old baby girl and is married and just moved to Germany recently. That was the first appointment we had where we just discussed everything. Moving forward to November, because later that month I had an operation. I was not able to walk, and we did not have any classes whatsoever. So only later in the middle of November or something, we just had our classes again, where I would just teach the German language to him and slangs and things we would speak in German outside of a textbook. That's what he was actually looking for anyways. And it was actually going quite well. I enjoyed teaching. I understood that I'm a good teacher, and I have been told that by my family and friends for years. And I never really took it into account. And with that course, I really found myself enjoying teaching, and he also really liked it. So that was quite nice for me, and he he was learning fast and everything was going well. You know, we would relate in many subjects, and we just formed a sort of friendship. I saw him more like somebody elderly, where we could just talk sometimes also for like advice things. You know, for example, sometimes you cannot just ask your parents everything, and you just want somebody elderly to ask for their advice or how they think, or, you know, somebody you can not really look up to, but you know what I mean. And it was actually like, he was very understanding, and I really appreciated his input in many things, because especially during that time I was going through a breakup, and I was just kind of finding myself, and I kind of, you know, with the operation on top of that, I was really mentally, I wasn't really in the present moment. I was always kind of in a different space mentally, and he noticed that. So sometimes we just, you know, talk about that, but not really, not in a very deep sense. It was still okay, like it was still very formal, and you know, it was never like, there was no boundaries crossed, let's put it that way. He would sometimes make small gifts, like giving me a book, which is like 100 essays. I just read it here. 100 essays that might change your life. Like that book he gifted me. And then one day he just, after I like slightly talked about this breakup situation, he gifted me a mirror, like a pocket mirror, that I could just always carry with me, because he was like, look, Ella, you're super beautiful, like you should always be reminded of that, how beautiful you are, and how you captivate everybody with your nice energy and smile and everything. And it really made me quite emotional at that time, because I was just like, you know, I felt just very appreciated. But those gifts, that were very nice gestures in the beginning, they just, you know, rapidly took a turn when it was just about to be December. So on last year, on the 30th November, I was outside with my girlfriend in a cafe, and we were just laughing, talking. I think it was like 10 p.m. and we were just drinking tea in a coffee shop, like Turkish coffee shop, and I just get a phone call. And then I look, and it's Rain calling me at, I think, 10:30 p.m. So I pick up. I'm like, hey, is everything okay? What's wrong? And he's like, hi, I'm outside of your door. Are you home? Very confused. I asked him, what? Why are you in front of my house? What are you doing there? And he's like, no, like, where are you? I'm like, I'm outside with my friend in a cafe. Why? Is everything okay? I was just like thinking maybe something happened. But even if something happened, why is he in front of my door? Anyways, I was just very confused, you know, like, you know. And I wasn't really hearing everything, because I was in a cafe. It was very loud. He's like, just tell me where you are. I'm coming. I have to give you something. I'm like, okay. So I give him the location of the cafe, and I hang up the phone. My friend is like, who was this? I'm like, that's basically some guy I'm tutoring. And she's like, okay, why did he call you at this time? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, and I said, like, he's coming because he wants to give me something. And she's like, okay, weird. So we were just like talking, and then he's just coming in front of the cafe, and he has this big bag. And I look at him very confused. I'm like, hey, like, hi, how are you doing? What are you doing here? And he's like, hey, so basically I was in front of your house. I wanted to give you this thing. I'm like, what is it? He's like, you know, just, you will see. And yeah, that's it. I'm like, okay. And he just left. Like, I couldn't really speak to him much. I even offered him to come inside the cafe if he wants, and he's like, no, I have to go. I'm like, okay. First, I really thought, oh my god, that's so sweet. Like, he just brought me something, you know. And I looked, it's like an advent calendar, like it's really big. In Germany, it's a really big thing. I don't know about the rest of the world, but it was a huge advent calendar. And I'm like, oh my god, look, he got me this calendar. And she's like, oh, that's sweet. But she was more confused than me. But I think at the moment she just didn't say anything, and I didn't realize anything because I was, how can I say, I was confused. But then I guess with the conversation with my friend and everything, I just completely forgot about it. And then when I went home, actually, I started questioning, like, wait a moment, didn't he say he was in front of my house? And what time is it, like, right now? And, you know, I was just, wait, this is a bit creepy. Like, why? So then I started questioning things. And actually, I haven't even, up to that night, I have not really looked at the calendar, you know? I just kept it. And then the next evening, the whole day I was outside and whatever, I came home and I took a picture and a video to my other friend, Maria, hi, about the calendar. I told her about it. And then, with me sending the picture and video of the calendar, I just noticed. By the way, girl, yesterday when I was outside with my friend, I just received a phone call while I was in a cafe with her. And it's the guy I'm giving German classes, that old man. Girl, he asked me if I'm home. I said, like, no, I'm not. He was in front of my door at like 10 p.m., 10 p.m. ish. And he's like, are you home? I'm like, no, I'm in the city center. And then he's like, oh, do you know any of your neighbors to give that something? I'm like, what do you mean give something? He's like, yeah, nothing. I just wanted to leave a package. I'm like, package? He's like, where are you right now? I said, in the city center. He's like, okay, I'm coming. And then he came. Girl, he got me. I don't know, it just, I think 1 minute only. He got me this. Can I turn the camera around? This! Oh my god. What is that? Oh! Maria, you noticed something I didn't even notice. Now I look at all the windows. They are almost all like that. You're right, I'm scared, Maria! 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 I mean, that's okay, that's Santa Claus. This is empty. These are two girls. I mean, this is a family. I mean, I guess. But yeah. Oh my god, Maria! And you know what? It says this calendar is for two. I just read that now. This is for two people. So that's why they always have two. So you are right. It's for two people. It's for couples. Like, you know, you have one door with chocolate inside, and there's another door in the same day for your partner. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? What do you mean couples calendar? With my reaction, literally realizing everything in seconds, I'm like, wait, Maria, this is a couples calendar. Look at the pictures. And we're like analyzing the whole calendar and we're freaking out. And she's like, oh my god, like, Ella, this guy is in love with you. And I'm like, Maria, don't tell me that. Like, I'm getting the ick. Like, I'm actually shivering out of, disgust if that's the case. And I was really hoping that Rain was not in love with me or anything like that. I was actually really hoping, because I was like, wait, Maria, he is married. He has a child. A child!
That's a child!
And that's an ugly, pimply bitch!
Like, I'm already, with my breakup and everything, I'm already like disgusted by men. I don't want to be more disgusted, actually, The funny thing, actually, is that this encounter happened on a Saturday night. As I said, the 30th of November. And we would have had a lesson on a Monday. So actually, I was also asking myself and Maria, why didn't he wait till Monday to give me the present? What was the hurry of him coming to my door at night to give me a calendar? It just did not make any sense. Like, what? Why? Like, it's just too much, you know what I mean? And Maria agreed. She said, that's not normal. That's not normal. That's weird.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
So, moving forward to Monday, when we had our lesson, I, bring up the big elephant in the room and confront him. I'm like, hey, actually, like, thank you for the gift, but can you please tell me why you did not just give me a today when we just had a lesson on this day anyways? And he's like, yeah, you see, the reason why I came to you late at night was because I was unsure if I should give you the gift that day or if I should wait on Monday, because apparently there is this German tradition where you have to have this advent calendar before the 1st of December. And I was really contemplating if I should come or not, if I should give it before, because I heard that this tradition is very serious and Germans take it very seriously and whatever. I was like, okay, but like, I mean, I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm not Christian, and also Christmas has actually nothing to do with Christianity, but that's a conversation we, not everybody can have with me, but it's something pagan or whatever. And so, I wouldn't have mind if you would obviously give me the calendar on Monday. And he's like, yes, I was just unsure, and I'm sorry if I disturbed you, whatever. I didn't plan to. I was just really confused, and I just wanted to do things the correct way. Okay, I guess fair enough, but still weird. Because that's already kind of like a red flag right there. So that day, he actually did not really want to have a lesson, because he was just, I guess because of the conversation or whatever, he was like, oh my god, it's so warm in here, like, should we just take a walk? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, it's okay, I think I'm fine. And he's like, no, like, come, let's just, show me the campus, or because basically our lessons, we always do it in the campus, where I live. Unfortunately, which is why he knew where I live, because I live in the campus, and the cafe where we always have our lessons is in the university campus, which is where I live, in a university dorm. So it's really easy, to know where I live. Actually, let me draw it to you so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically, as you can see, this is the university campus, and this is where we would have our, this is where the cafe is, where we would have our lessons, and I would just like live next to the cafe in the dorm. So he would always see me come outside my house when I would go to the cafe, which is why he knows and knew back then where I lived and waited in front of my house at 11:10 p.m. Yeah. So coming back to our lesson, he kept saying, let's just have a walk, it's so hot, like just show me in the campus or something, it's really warm. I'm like, okay, just take your, take your jacket off or something. And he's like, no, like I don't want to sit down and whatever. I'm like, okay, that's a you problem. But anyways, I was okay, like it was really awkward. So I was like, okay, fine, let's just walk around the campus and come back to where we were. So we are walking and it starts raining and I'm actually getting annoyed. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to really walk in the rain. And he's like, keep asking me questions and, more personal questions and more personal questions. And I'm like, what are you doing, sir? Sir? Hello? Like, yeah, before we were just like, having these conversations, things where we would relate to, but it was never really, so what do you like? Or, you know what I mean? It's like things we would maybe just ask for feedback, or I don't know, he would just tell me about his day and ask me, how is your day? Like just still overall like neutral. But then asking me like, okay, like more personal things, I was really getting uncomfortable while he should be uncomfortable, you know what I mean? And then his question basically was, which is, oh my god, like actually I want to punch the wall. So basically, he asked me if I'm waiting till marriage. You know what I mean? And if so, why? I have that mindset. Is it religious or is it because of my own personal beliefs?
What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Why?
Yes. And then I was like actually pissed. Valid, obviously. What the fuck? So I was like, why you ask me that? Why are you asking me that? Huh? Why? Tell me why. And he's like, I'm just curious. I'm like, okay, are you just curious or are you interested in me? Say it how it is. And then of course I caught him off guard. And he's like, what do you mean? You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. I'm like, I just asking because you actually just randomly, which is already weird, curious, or are you just really interested in me? I mean I can see why, but like why? And he was like, well, that's a question I want to answer next session. I'm like, no, sir, hello, you're gonna answer that right now. And he's like, look, Ella, I really like you. I cannot lie about that. Why? It's like, yeah, I really like you. I cannot lie about that. That's all I'm gonna say for now. and next session we're gonna talk about it. I'm like, but good for the arrangement because we always had lessons Monday and Wednesdays. So I was like, okay, well, I can't wait till Wednesday, and you're gonna tell me what the fuck that was. So anyways, it's Wednesday, whatever, we go to a different cafe, and then he's like, okay, so look, whatever I feel has nothing, I quote, nothing to do with you or us or anything. It's just my feelings. It's just something I feel, and it has nothing to do with you, and I don't expect anything from in return. I don't want anything from you. I just want to have lessons with you, and that's it. I'm like, what? I thought, would your wife like that? And he said, don't bring my wife into this. Just kidding.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking.
But he said, like, it's just a feeling. Like, I cannot control who I like or not. He didn't say really like love. He just said, I really, really like you. And, you know, he basically said that the lessons we had have been the kind of like best time he had since he got his daughter. And, you know, Rain was basically also dealing with depression up to meeting me, and, you know, was still dealing with it. And he was like, you know, since I met you, my life has just changed, and I've been just feeling so much better about myself, about everything. And, you know, you have like cured me, you have like helped me without even doing anything. It's just like your presence changed everything, how I feel. I just like to go out again. I wanted to, you know, I just felt younger again, and you just made me very happy, and I really appreciate you for that. So I don't want to do anything that would you know, prevent us from having further lessons together, because that's my priority. And I'm like, you do know that like I will not feel comfortable giving you lessons knowing that you like me in a way that is like romantic. And he's like, well, I don't want anything from you, and it's just a feeling. It maybe will go away or not, whatever, but like for now I cannot hide it, and I will not lie to you. So anyways, I said like, look, you know, I feel like that's a boundary that has been now crossed, and I cannot just pretend and just give lessons again like nothing happened. And he was like, well, what boundary did I cross? I said, you know, you coming to my house late at night, that's not normal. And he's like, yes, and, you know, I apologize for that and whatever. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, you know, I will not do anything that you won't like, don't worry, like I will just keep my feelings for myself. We will just have lessons, that's it. And in a way, I don't know if it was just that I was gaslighted or whatever. I was like, okay, maybe I can just have lessons and that's it, because it seemed to really, you know, be crucial as well, because he was looking for jobs and he needed German skills for finding a new job and everything. And I was like, okay, like since he was kept saying like, what boundary did I cross, what boundary did I cross? And at that moment I was like, okay, well, you know, in the moment when people ask you like that, you're like, yeah, I don't know, like. And then he said like, I will never do this with the house thing again. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, I just did it because of the tradition, whatever, which, you know, who are you kidding, but at that time, since I wasn't also very much in the present at times, and I was just in a different mindset, I was like, whatever, okay, let's just have lessons, that's it. But whenever I will see that you're crossing the line, I will definitely stop the lessons, and that's it, you know. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. He wanted to go to another cafe again. Like, he had this thing where he didn't want to just always have this lesson in this cafe. He wanted to also get to know other cafes in the city, and I was like, actually, that's a nice idea generally, but at the same time, I don't know with what intention you are really seeing this, because generally I would like to go to different cafes that are not just in front of my house, because I am somebody who's already isolating herself at home constantly. So I like to go out and be in different environments as well, you know. And back then I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, let's just meet in a different cafe, doesn't matter. So on the way to the different cafe, since he had a car, he was like, let's just drive there together. I was just like, he was just like telling his whole marriage story out of nowhere. Nobody asked. I swear I never asked him about like any of the things he told me, but he was like, so basically he started very like, oh, I cannot even like, I don't even want to say everything because I feel so bad for his wife. I feel super bad for his wife. But basically, his wife has a medical condition, which he just told me like everything from his first night being married. And I was like, wait, where is this conversation actually going? Like, why are you telling me all of this? He's like, no, wait, listen, I will come to the point. This will all make sense. And I'm just like waiting and patient for it to make sense of why he's telling me all of this. But it never made sense. At the end, it did not make sense. At the end, it did not connect any clue. It was just him venting to me. It was just going back to this, like, asking for advice. But it wasn't, I don't think he wanted actually an answer. You know? So basically, he was like telling his wife has this medical condition. You know, they couldn't be intimate with each other for years, and then she worked on it, and then it got away, and that's how they got a baby. And then it was just for him like, let's reproduce. Like, saying these things, I'm already like, like, why are you telling me? It's like, you know, it was just for him like reproduction, and there was no feelings, whatever. And he loves his child, of course, and he's I mean, a good father, I guess. But he kind of resented his wife for rejecting him for all these years because of her medical condition, and that made something with his brain that he cannot like see her like that again. And then he read, or somebody told him the sentence of, if you don't have this romantic connection with your partner, then you're basically roommates. And it stuck with him that he now thinks he just is married to a roommate, and he cannot really, you know, make love to his wife, and he doesn't even want to anymore. And he has been cheating on his wife back in his country, and multiple times, and she just found out that he has been texting another, like his work colleague or something. And he just, you know, told his wife that you know, he's been seeing her, but that's it, like there's nothing more. But there was more. He was like, you know, he was doing it with his colleague back in his country all the time. And for him it was just like physical, nothing more. And yeah, and then now he's like, yeah, so look, I just keep thinking of my wife as my roommate, what can I do? And I'm like, dude, I'm freaking 26 years old. What do you want me? I have never been married. Why are you telling me all of these things? And I was just so flabbergasted, you know, and I was just like so disgusted. And I'm like, why did you do that? Like, you basically have cheated on your wife multiple times. And he's like, really? Would you say that? But it's just like physical, and you know, I just had to do this because I couldn't do it with my wife, and obviously I don't want to hurt my wife. I'm like, okay, so then why don't you just tell your wife? Why are you doing it in secret? Yeah, you know, like, why do you have to lie to your wife? Do you think your wife would be proud and happy and still be married with you, and even came to the point of you guys having a child, if she knew that you cheated on her? You know, I don't think so. Neither does he think that, which is why he kept it in private all the time. So basically, I'm like, you know, trying here, having lessons, and bro is just venting and venting, and I was like, okay, like, I just want to go home. So on the way back home, he's been like, once he like brought me home, he's like, wait a minute, and he's like holding my hand, like on top of my hand. He's like, so, you know, you had asked me the question about you know, if I'm just curious or if I'm interested in you romantically, and now I want to ask you the same question. And before he even finished, I said, no, sir, no, I don't know in which fucking dream world you're living in, but no. And then I just, you know, closed the car door, took my things, went home, and I just wrote him, I'm like, look, the lessons are not gonna work. I'm sorry. It's not gonna work anymore. I feel super uncomfortable. And, you know, he's been like, please don't tell anybody what I told you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, sure. But yeah, no. And then he reached out in March, saying basically that, you know, since we haven't had these lessons, he had been feeling super miserable and he's missing me, and he's been trying to have lessons with other people. It has never been the same, and he really wants me to be his teacher again, and he will do anything, and blah blah blah. I said, like, no, sorry. You know, I said, I'm really mad at you, and I don't really care. And then I said, even if you just wanted to talk to me and come back to my life, there is now a fee for the mental damage you have caused me and the trauma you have caused me, because what the fuck? Like, I was already back then going through so many things, and then, you know, seeing you as somebody elderly, where you just have a nice friendship, giving lessons, everything is just nice, where you have this, like, you know, like, you're 20 years older than me or whatever, and now you ruined everything, and now you are just, you know, not thinking with your brain. That's damage. So I said, like, even if you just wanted to talk to me again, now there is a fee. And if you don't pay the fee, I don't care. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. And yeah, basically he was like, no, please, let's talk about, like, I can pay you, but the prices for the lessons. I'm like, no, thank you. No. And since then, like, since the last few weeks, I have been seeing him a lot of times in the cafeteria. Mind you, bro has to work, actually. I don't know why he's always in this campus. Like, I know he has been here before he even met me, but, like, he's been around my house too many times, so I have spotted him a lot of times, and he has seen me too. And the last time I saw him, he actually looked really mad at me. He was like this in the rain. So I'm really uncomfortable, and I know you are watching, actually, Rain. I know you're watching this, so please just leave me alone. That's all I wanted to say. Please don't contact me. Don't be around my house. What the fuck? Like, go somewhere else. Go to another cafe. Go do something what other people in your age do. But no. So yeah, that's the story time. I hope it did not traumatize you as much as it had me traumatized. And yeah, so just because you think they are older, they might be more mature, it doesn't change the fact that they're still horny ass bitches. So that's the lesson you guys should all learn about man in this generation. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and maybe see you in the next video. Bye.